Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy, the recap. This week, we had Teri Chilcoat with us, and she said the best way to remember that is when you're chilled, you get a coat. And she is an HR expert who also is an author, and she wrote a book called Surviving the Toxic Workplace. The subtitle is From an HR Insider, How to Reclaim Your Power, Peace, and Happiness. And what I loved about our guest, but also about her book, is that when you open it, the chapters, there are 8 chapters. 4 of those chapters start with the word self. So we're talking about surviving a toxic work environment, but ultimately it's about self-awareness, self-control, self-care, self-acceptance, and self-empowerment. I think we lose sight of this sometimes. We get stuck in the done unto mentality instead of the I have power in this, I have say in this, I have control of this. We don't always own that. And I'm using the collective we. Maybe I should say I don't always own that. I can't speak for you. But I think in life, in society, we see many people who are walking around with the victim mentality. This happened to me. They did this to me, whoever the proverbial they are. And that's really actually not how this works. We give our power away often. We hand other people our hearts and say, here, take really good care of it. Here's everything you could do to hurt me. And I am going to just hope, because hope is not a strategy, but I just hope that you will take care of it. They won't, because they don't know what you need. Only you know what you need. And so today, I want to encourage you. Maybe you're not in a toxic workplace. Maybe you're in a toxic relationship, or maybe you are in a toxic friendship. Maybe you are in just a toxic relationship with food or with yourself. The toxicity is everywhere. What we choose to do about it is up to us. So I want to encourage you today to take some control. Right, here we are, it's the beginning of June, and we are in a dead run into summer. And maybe summer's a time that slows down for you, or maybe it's a time that speeds up. In my case, it speeds up, and a whole lot has to happen in the next few weeks. And I'm going to take control of that. I'm going to play the I get to, I choose to, I want to, and not the I have to. I think I get stuck in that I have to sometimes. I also get mired down in this stuff. And I believe with my whole being that we don't have to live like that we get to choose how we're going to handle things and how those things are going to affect us. So thank you, Teri, for writing a book that is a solid reminder that it's not about the environment, it's about how I show up in the environment. And what I choose to do in this space is on me. I'm not 100% convinced that we always recognize that power. And again, speaking for me, but I am 100% convinced that we can do something about it. So do something about it. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I always challenge you to do something different because of your time here. I'm coaching a lady right now, and she is brilliant. And in an organization, some people know all of the things she's capable of and others don't. And so my encouragement to her is to get to know people and let them know what you're capable of. We make a lot of assumptions, and all that does is make an ASS out of you and me. Yeah, Charles C. Brown taught me that. Rest her soul. She was my senior English teacher, and I think that we assume a ton, and we need to stop making an ASS out of you and me, and we need to ask questions and get genuinely curious and figure things out for ourselves instead of making those assumptions. So on that note, if you need some help, maybe you just need somebody with skin on to talk about some of this stuff with, or you have questions, or you just want to know a little bit more about how you might tackle the world differently, reach out to me. You can email me at Christie, Christie, at intentionalitygroup.com. And let me help. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I'm a pretty good listener, and I am a really good joy finder, and I can help you figure out what you could do to take a little bit more control and choose to instead of having to. So today, I want to encourage you to take control, to recognize that self-awareness and self-care and self-clarity and there were lots of other self-empowerment and self-acceptance are all things that are within your power. Okay? So I appreciate you so much. You may never know how much I appreciate the fact that you're listening right now, that you might share this episode with somebody, that you are cheering me on from wherever you are. And I'm just going to ask today that you grab something that you can use and you figure out a way to turn fun into action.